So today I'm going to show you a really delicious dessert that you will enjoy. It's 100% Greek. It's called Greek loukoumades. Loukoumades. And whenever I think loukoumades, I associate it with fat because they're deep fried little puff balls and they look like donut holes. But I'm going to show you a oil-free version and it's just as good, maybe even better. So these are going to be the ingredients. It's super easy. You just need basic ingredients here. You're going to, and I'm doubling this recipe, so I'm going to put the recipe as half in the description box below. So you're going to need 1 1/4 cup of flour, white flour. You could do this with whole wheat flour if you did use the pastry flour and add a little bit more water. You're going to need 1 cup of sesame seeds, and I have been reusing this plastic container for about 10 years now. And these are raw organic sesame seeds. And I get these from Vitacost. You can get these in the bulk bins if you can find them. But make sure they're raw, they're not toasted. You're gonna need 1/2 teaspoon of yeast. And I keep getting questions where I get my yeast, and this is where I get it. And I buy 2 packets and I keep them in my freezer until my container empties. And it's awesome, awesome, awesome. So 1/2 teaspoon of this, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to use the Himalayan salt for this. And then 1/3 cup plus 1 tablespoon of water. And that's it, that's it, that's it. So we're going to get started. I'm going to do this in my mixer. And then I'm going to place it in a glass bowl and cover it and let it sit. So we're going to add the flour, the yeast, and the water. So you do not need a mixer for this, but because I'm a little lazy, I'm going to use the mixer. Okay, so it mixed for about 5 minutes in my blender in the with the dough hook, and now I'm just gonna, it's gonna be kind of tough and elasticy, but that's the consistency you want. And right now we're gonna add the salt. And you're thinking, wow, we're gonna add the salt. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna sprinkle a little bit, and then you're gonna just massage it in. And I'm adding, since I'm doubling the recipe, it's a teaspoon. So I'm adding a little less, but that's how you want to add the salt. And then I'm going to do this for about 3 or 4 minutes. So I've been hand mixing it, and you can see there's little salt, little pink salt glistening. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put it in an unoiled dish, and I'm going to cover it with saran wrap. Try and give it an airtight seal here. And I'm going to let it sit on my counter for about an hour or so. You don't have to let it sit for an hour. You can let it sit for 20 minutes. But I like giving it an hour. Now, one time I forgot about it, and I remembered a couple hours later, and it was all poofed up and everything, and it was too late to make them. So I stuck it in the fridge, and I made it the next day, and it was just as good. So it's up to you. So it's been about an hour and a half or so, and my bread has doubled in size. And what you want to do now is take a little bowl of water, and I'm going to dissolve about 1 teaspoon of sugar in the water. So you want to have your water, your raw sesame seeds on a dish, and what we're going to do now is we're going to roll out the dough and make them into little balls. And then I'm just gonna pinch off small little guys, about an inch. So now I'm just gonna roll these into a little ball, just really tight. I'm gonna drop it in the water, and then I'm gonna drop it and roll it around in the sesames. And then I'm gonna place it on a lined baking sheet. So we'll make another one. Drop it in the water. Roll it around. Sheet. I'm gonna do all these and we'll come back when I'm okay, so now we've finished them. They look beautiful. They smell delicious. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my oven on now to 390 degrees, and I'm gonna let these sit for about 20 minutes until my oven heats up. But you do wanna let them sit before you pop them in the oven. Okay, so my oven is ready. They've poofed up a little bit, you can see, and I'm gonna place them in my oven for about between 11 and 13 minutes. So we'll just keep checking back. Okay, so we're gonna take them out. And they look perfect. And I'm gonna let them cool down for about 10 minutes and then I'll show you how I prepare it. Okay, so here they are, and I bit into one just because I'm a good person. I'm gonna show you how soft and fluffy they are. And this is how we're gonna prepare them. So I just put them on a plate and I'm gonna pour some maple syrup on top. Now the Greeks usually use honey, but I'm not gonna go honey raw. I think it tastes better with maple syrup. And then I'm gonna just sprinkle some cinnamon on top. And they're ready to go. My version of Greek Loukoumades.